Good evening, Crimson Tide Nation. Welcome to the 23rd edition of Alabama Primetime Live from yours truly, your substitute host, Jackson Johnson, and the regular host, Coach Smook, will join us in here in just a little bit to go over the latest news and notes on the Crimson Tide, all right here on Alabama, the voice of college football. But before we get things rocking and rolling, we've got the YouTube membership tiers. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member, where you'll have a loyalty badge next to your name and the comments and in the live chat, and you get a custom emoji to use in the comment section and in the live chat, and you get a member shout out. For $4.99 a month, you can become a Saban Disciple, where you'll get priority replies to comments and access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, Jeffrey Only Talk Sports, Coach Johnny Burks, Coach Smook Hines, and friends, all right here. And for $9.99 a month, you can become a Bear Bryant legend, where you can connect on social media with each of us and give out content requests of any kind. And neither rain nor sleet nor snow nor the miserable Alabama weather will put a stop to us for fulfilling your content requests, all right here on Alabama Voice of College Football. And here with us is Coach Smook Hines.
What's going on, man? What's up, Jackson? How is it going tonight? What's going on, everybody in the chat? Good to see everybody pulling up. Welcome to the 45th edition? What number is this? The 23rd edition?
23rd edition of Primetime Live.
23rd edition of Primetime Live. Good to see everybody in the chat, man. We just sent the live out over on the Coach Smook Network, so if you're tapping in, make sure you drop a like on that side, but also tap in over here on the Alabama Voice of College Football channel, where you can get the primary content and coverage here for your Alabama Crimson Tide. Jackson, how you feeling this evening, man?
I'm doing all right. Just getting through another Tuesday, getting prepared for the season to start. I just can't wait for it to come already.
Hey, listen, days. It's so many people that have been blowing up my inbox and trying to get topics across the channel. So we're gonna have a lot to talk about over the next coming weeks. Right here as we dial it in for kickoff. I can't wait to finish getting set up for the season, man. I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for a few things to show up. But main thing is we got the audio, man. We got the audio there. And I got people tapping in. We got Blunt Conversation tapping in over here on the YouTube side. We also got Dylan Durham. Roll Tide to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all for tapping in. Make sure y'all drop a like and y'all share this content every Tuesday night between 6 and 6:30. We started a little bit later tonight, had to get a few things across the platform. But between 6 and 6:30, you all will see us. We're going to be providing you the actual footage from every media available of showing for the University of Alabama in their practices. As we have today, updated footage, updated interviews with Ryan Grubb, and the post presser for practice today. So, and I have my reports from the eyes on the scene, and then just having a few conversations with a few of the players that have been having opportunities out there on the field, just getting a good feel for how my youngins are doing, especially in that 25 and that 24 class commits, talking to those guys. A lot of things to talk about here in this short 30-minute segment, but we're going to get it to you here on the Alabama Voice of College Football. Jackson, we got a promo to get to, man, before we jump into all that. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing in the chat before we get to this promo? What was this? Brian Pearson welcoming. He said, "Who's going to be the starting quarterback for this team?" We could jump into that conversation a little bit.
Oh, for
Stick
sure.
around. You'll hear about it here in the interview with Ryan Grubb. We haven't, and the good thing about it, chat, we have not seen these live interviews. We've seen clips. Everybody's posting clips and things. We have not watched this here on the Voice of College Football. I've only got things that I've been reported, but to see it verbatim with you all, we'll be doing a live reaction here.
Oh man, yeah. Before we get things started, man, it's back to school week already. What are we doing, Coach? Like, I don't know what I'm getting.
I mean, might want to hit up Amazon, man.
Yeah, the Mark Rogers doppelganger can tell us what to do.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link, and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the voice of college football.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Mark. Go and get your little Amazon stuff. Use that discount.
There you go. Shop on Amazon using the link to support the voice of college football. You don't need to buy the product displayed. It doesn't cost you a penny, and you get the same shopping experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So here on the Alabama Voice of College Football, let's just get into it, man. Today's fall practice reports, man. I had my tweet on Twitter basically saying some of the things that were reported out of camp today from Eyes on Scene. And I like to get into it. Let me pull this up. I didn't have it set up, but I want to get into it. I just want to go verbatim what I said. Talked about, the tight end room, guys emerging out of the tight end room, out of the passing game, in the wide receiver core. A name to be on the lookout for, and I continue to say this with pride because when I evaluated his film as he was being recruited by Alabama coming into that 24 class, I saw a high upside with the 25 class. I'm sorry. I saw a high upside with this young man, and that's none other than the 24 class, Rico Scott. And I said that in his sophomore year, we would be able to see him blossom, see the transition happen. We seen it happen with Kalen DeBoer in this system last year. Nick Sheridan did his best job trying to, play call for what this system needed to be successful, to be productive, right, with the assets that were available. But now you see a more developed veteran group of skilled players being developed. And Coach Jamarcus Shepard has the privilege and the opportunity to have a talent like Rico Scott as a guy that's probably not going to garner all of your attention, when it comes down to the succession of responsibilities by your defensive assignments. You got Ryan Williams on that side, Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard. Those three guys are going to demand so much attention. Then you look at the tight end room with what we see happening with Josh Cuevas and Brody Dalton. Has been making some flashes here early in fall camp. You got guys like Marshall Pritchett and Rico Scott who are going to be that third and fourth option in those rotations that are just going to benefit from not being able to be game plan from. And these are guys that are going to make big impacts. So just a few of those reports coming to the Smook Scoop, looking at the defensive backs and how they played today, the edge rushers and the tackle competition back and forth in that. Let's see if I can get us big screen here. I'm gonna do this right here, Jackson, real quick. I'm gonna share screen, and here you go, chat. This is what I tweeted today, and we got some good reactions off of it. Not too much trolling today. People not getting too much trolling interaction on Twitter these days, which is good. We love when we could just talk some good football and talk some good Bama talk. So I put out there, if you hear some hype about Rico Scott and Cole Adams today, is true. Yes, both of them had great showings. Rico Scott in particular, there was a play that he made today that both my sources were raving about, saying that he's becoming very confident and the chemistry is there between he and the two quarterbacks, Ty Simpson and Elon Russell. The first group O-line today from left to right guard, informed me. Just the same consistency of what we like to see, seeing Cam Dewberry still being in the mix in that left guard position. I think he's just coming along. The more reps he's getting, the better it's getting. The more depth we're padding in that offensive line. The inside linebacker pairing of QB Reese and Nakai Hills Green. It doesn't matter if it was first group or second group. To see those two out there together, that lets me know that we are looking to implement this rotational depth, use this rotational depth that we have at the linebacker position, especially on the interior with Deontay Lawson not being 100%. And being more so your veteran leader in that group, giving guys like Justin Jefferson, Nakai Hill Green, QB Reese, and true freshman Abdul Sanders Jr. opportunities to showcase what they're able to do. And we can't forget Caden Jones. May not be as an impactful a player, but I think with the reps that he's going to get, the opportunities that he's going to get on special teams and getting spot play here at the inside linebacker room, he'll be able to create a quality impact. Then also the edge rush rotation, we'll get a little bit into that. But Coach Grubb, we're going to start off with that interview, man, if you don't mind, Jackson. I think we can hear from Coach Grubb and then get into the footage and see what everybody thinks about what Coach Grubb had to say about today's performance. You ready to get into it, Jackson?
Let's hear it.
Let's get into it, man. Here we go.
Get a quarterback named as soon as possible. Are there other positions on the offensive line where the competition is such that there's work to be done? And is there any other position that maybe has some urgency?
Needs some urgency? I think you got a little bit more time with those, a little more grace. They've been doing a good job of fighting all those battles, and we're rotating a lot of guys in through on that offensive line unit. So I'm okay with the gel taking a little while up front.
How beneficial is it to have guys like Gino or Watson kind of play multiple spots and kind of really?
Yeah, the flex position, I think, especially an experienced guy like Gino, is extremely important. You know, if you can play multiple spots, especially if you're a guy that can either snap a football or push yourself out to tackle, life's going to be really, really good for you up front because you got guys that can do both.
Ryan, what's kind of a snap plan for quarterbacks heading into week 2 again?
Right now, we're keeping status quo. All the guys have been getting 1s, 2s, and 3s, with the exception of Ty. He's the only guy that's not taking any 3 reps. So really, it's been status quo. But today, everybody got a couple racks with the 1s, and Ty took a couple with the 2s. So we're still moving them around, and the guys know that there's a pretty clean picture moving forward throughout the week.
With another coach on staff who's coaching quarterbacks, obviously that frees you up a little bit. How do you divide your time on the practice field?
Yeah, I'm always going to probably hunker pretty close to the quarterback, just because of that relationship that I have to have for game day. But it does, you know, at times, especially if there's something specific in a game plan or drill work that I think has to be addressed to see if we can fix some problems, I'm certainly going to be over for those drills on any of the position groups. So the flexibility is huge, you know, and just having guys that you can trust in the quarterback room like Nick is ultra important.
How would you evaluate what you've seen from quarterbacks since the last time we talked to you?
They've grown a ton. Spring to now, even first practice to now, has been outstanding. I thought, you know, a couple of the young guys hit a couple bumps early on, and I really thought they played through it really quickly. Sometimes you'll hit that and they'll stay down. They get on the canvas and they can't get back up. But I thought both the guys did a great job, Keelan and Austin, of playing through that. We've had a lot less up and down with the whole room. I think that we've done a good job taking care of football. Again, today there was no picks, and I really didn't feel like the ball was in jeopardy today. And I think that's one of the biggest things is just improved decision-making in the room.
Coach, what did you see from the running backs?
Jam Miller, he's the man. Love that guy. So Jam's been doing everything. I think, you know, the thing about a guy like Jam, you love older guys that don't feel like their skill set's complete. And what I mean by that is I think Jam really wholeheartedly takes on, like, there's things that I can get better at. And he works at them extremely hard. He's very diligent about his process. And so he's a good leader in the room. I think Daniel has showed the physicality we thought. With exceptional hands. I think Dre's getting better at pass protection, as is Rich. And so those 4 guys have really shown a lot of growth. And then even A.K. Deer is a guy that, you know, was really swimming this spring and has showed some promise here lately. You know, normally I don't talk about those younger guys too much, but just been proud of, you know, his progress the last couple of days has been really good.
With the depth that you have in the running back room, how many guys are you expecting to see utilized this fall?
I mean, whatever we need for the game plan. Sometimes there's some specialty stuff that you need a little bit more of one type of back, and I think that we're lucky that we have a lot of different types of backs. So I think that you normally are going into almost any game, you're thinking there's at least 3 guys that are going to get, you know, considerable reps.
What have you seen from Cam on pass protection? How is he in pass protection?
I don't know. He was pretty solid right away. I mean, I would say physicality, but he's always been super physical. I think his eyes have improved, you know, just as far as where his first indicators are at and just following his rules. So I think he was pretty dialed, honestly, even before the spring. But I certainly think he continues to improve on that.
How would you evaluate Isaiah Horton this fall camp so far?
Hungry. Just, I mean, he's a guy like today. He had a touchdown in the red zone, ran a really physical route in the middle third of the end zone that he had to win on tight coverage and bodied a guy up and made a really, really strong catch. And I think he's a guy that is very critical of himself and aware of the things that he needs to get better at. And I think that's all you can ask out of players. And he's certainly doing a good job of that.
Coach Shepard said yesterday that Rico's a guy y'all kind of use his blocking techniques as an example for some of the other receivers. How do you teach the young receivers the importance of blocking when they may not be
Drill it, number one. Blocking circuit is for everybody. So for us, we do work extensively. I mean, that part of our game, from a circuit or a drill work standpoint is something I know as a staff that we work every week, every day. And, the receivers are guys that it's really, I guess the point I made the other day in the unit meeting was I said, when I was here in the spring and we were going through practice, I felt like we had to find a guy to pick and point out, like, that's what it should look like. And that was the guy that was standing out. Now, if there's a guy not doing it right and tight hands and good base and things like that, now he's the guy that's standing out. So the room is completely flipped. I think it's a belief system in the room, and they've certainly captured that.
There's a general perception that spring ball is more about fundamentals and fall camp is more about playbook install. That's obviously somewhat of an oversimplification. How much is fundamentals still bleeding into fall camp at this point?
It's got to stay in there all year. I truly believe that. That's a little bit of coach talk and saying the right thing on the mic, but I do. I think that guys can improve throughout the season, and you don't know. It might be the third string left guard that you got to count on by the end of the year. So you got to continually develop young players, and that's a critical part of what we do. And so it has to be the same, in my opinion, all the way through the year. And you got to be able to show them clips of what it used to look like, what it looks like now, and what you want the finished product to look like. And we certainly do that every day right now.
I want to pause it right here. A lot of this that we're seeing here is the energy behind what's being said is a lot different than last year. The narratives coming into this year seems like a lot more solidarity, right? A lot of the same message being projected. If I had to give my assessment on what's happening right now with Alabama's offensive side of the ball, a lot of people are kind of excited, are really excited about having Ryan Grubb. But I don't think people understand the detail that goes into executing and being at that level like we saw the Washington Huskies do under Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer the 2 years that they were together, like we saw them do while at Fresno State as the offensive coordinator, play caller, and head coach combo there. So I want to pose this question to the Alabama fan base as you all tap in and continue to like and share. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button here on the Alabama Voice of College Football. But I want to pose this question to you, Jackson, and I also want to pose this to the Alabama Nation. Do you all expect averaging wise, are we going to be top 3, top 2 offense where every week you see a consistent player or a consistent theme being portrayed? Or do you think this offense really has the opportunity to be extensively good in multiple, I guess you could say, personas? The run game can be a thing to rely on. The passing game, the level of balance. Do you all believe that it will exceed the top 5% of the college football nation? If you believe so, drop in the comments and tell me why. What assets do you make you believe this? What part of the coaching philosophy makes you believe these things? Jackson, I want to ask you, coming into this fall season, listening to what Coach Grubb is saying about some of the young players that's performing, the quarterback performance that we've been seeing consistently throughout spring, coming into fall, still having this staff on the same type of tone as far as who's the guy to go to. We're still seeing the same mode of conversation. What's your feels as far as the level of execution and production this offense can be at coming into this 2025 season?
Well, I mean, you put it perfectly, top 5. I think we can get there. Well, I don't think. I know we can get there because, looking at the stats of where Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer were teaming up together at Washington 2022, 2023, you knew you would see some magic coming. The passing game, my God, it was amazing. Mm-hmm. And, we could see same thing like we did with Fresno State for 2021. I keep looking back at Fresno's game-winning drive against UCLA. I mean, I know that may be a nothing burger game to some people, but that game shows me a lot on what these two individuals can do together when building a top-notch offense. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that throughout the 2025 season. And listen, y'all heard me in January of this year when there's a possibility of Grubb becoming the OC. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to tough it out with Sheridan, but if Grubb says he's interested in being the offense coordinator, I'm going to listen. And then the reality was coming that he was going to be the next OC. I'm like, let's do it.
I
Because
remember when
know
I I remember when I put the first reports out, Jackson, about Ryan Grubb coming back to Alabama. It was part of the original plan. It was always a part of the original plan. The desire to continue with that continuity there at this level is something that staff as a whole wanted to have an opportunity to prove. You know, this is a staff that wants to prove themselves. They say the SEC is where big boy ball is played, right? And if you want to pad your coaching career, you want to pad your stats as far as your resume in your coaching career, get in the SEC and become a dominant defensive back coach. Get in the SEC and become a dominant linebacker coach, inside linebacker coach, or edge rushing coach, or a defensive line coach that can recruit. Get in the SEC and be a guru of a play caller and dominate. Put up Joe Brady type numbers from LSU when he had Joe Burrow in the national championship season. Put up numbers like the OC from LSU just last season with Jaden Daniels 2 seasons ago. Like those type of jobs and those type of showings is what elevates you in your career. And you got guys like Ryan Grubb, Jamarcus Shepard, Coach Mo Linquist, defensive coordinator Kane Womack, Coach Mo Roach. I mean, a lot of these coaches that could be head coaches or play callers at other universities, they are assets here. And I think this year, offensively, with Ryan Grubb being back in a position that allows the rest of the staff to be more so in their wheelhouse to operate. You see Nick Sheridan right there in the clips next to the quarterbacks. You see Coach Shepard next to the wide receivers. You see Ryan Grubb kind of hovering between each and every one of them. You see Coach Ellis with the tight ends. You know, another coordinator type mindset that can be an offensive play caller, but he specializes in developing tight ends. And then you go and look at the offensive line, run game coordination, and play calling experience. And Coach Cap, we have a staff offensively that I believe will allow this team to exceed the clip of what they were able to do last year. I mean, it won't be even close to the type of numbers we should be able to see. I like to jump into the topic about some of the depth here. A lot of reports coming in about the wide receiver room. Rico Scott, Cole Adams. Those are the two names that were ringing very high in all of the text messages and the different conversations I was having between my live earlier today when practice was complete and us going live now. What's your thoughts on this wide receiver room? We continue to talk about the pass game. We continue to talk about the quarterback position. Everybody wants to know who the starter is. Ty Simpson will start the season as the starting quarterback for the University of Alabama. There's no question about it. It shouldn't be no other way. I love the fact that Ty Simpson is getting the opportunity to be the guy. From the offensive production, though, so far, I think this is one of the best groups of wide receivers that we have as a whole. And I'm talking about from each standpoint. We're checking the block at a high clip, blocking, your releases, beating man coverage, literally fighting through, tough coverage, fighting through some of the holding that you're going to see. Our defensive backs are very aggressive this year. We're going to see how aggressive the officials are going to allow us to play. But looking at some of the clips from ones earlier today and then from the practice from Friday, the DBs play physical every snap. And I love to see it. So, Jackson, your thoughts on this wide receiver room and what type of production you expect from this group, man?
The wide receiver room is going to be amazing. I can't wait to see what Horton and Williams and Bernard and all those guys are going to bring. I want to see if Meadows will get some action throughout the season. I mean, he's not going to have some action in the big game, but I want to see some action from Meadows when we get to our cupcake game for week 2.
I think Meadows is still a development, is one of those developmental projects for us. His big frame is something that you definitely want to give opportunities for, especially in the red zone. Oh, yeah. Hard to kind of bracket him or commit multiple assets there and not be weak in other spots. His height and his catch radius demands the attention, and I think that's something futuristically as he continues to develop in his route running and really attacking the ball and being aggressive on attacking the ball in the air. I think that's what get him more opportunities and get him more looks. But you look at what's in front of him: Isaiah Horton, Jalen Hale at that same position. Those are two names that I think everybody's very hype about. Isaiah Horton coming from Miami, the skill set he possesses, the range that he possesses, the top end speed that he can clip out at. But I think with Jalen Hale kind of being the second guy there at that position, we see the explosiveness and the dynamic ability of the X position because of Jalen Hale. His catch radius is probably some of the best on the team next to Rico Scott. I believe Rico Scott just the catch radius. You throw it anywhere near him, and he's coming down with it. He's had some of the best hands in that room. But Isaiah Horton, Jalen Hill, they both bring the same type of skill sets in bigger frames. And Jalen Hill, I believe, is right there, that 190, 195 mark, a little bit heavier than what he came to Alabama as, but still maintaining the top end speed that we know him to be able to do. Being able to stretch the defense is going to be important at that X position, because you're going to see a lot of those vertical one-on-ones, those 50-50 balls thrown to that position. And he's got to be able to capitalize. So I'm excited for Jalen Hill. But another name in that wide receiver room, man, we kind of got gone accustomed to love him in the middle of last season as he came on right before his injury. And that's Cole Adams, man. I can't wait to see this young man thrown into the fire and be counted on to be the deceptive possession receiver that he is. A lot of people think that he's a Wes Welker type, but Cole Adams will take the top off of a defense. And I can't wait to see it. So running back room, offensive line, a lot of quality reports there. Jackson with the is gelling. Let me get this title up. Let me get this banner up real quick, Jackson. I got to put this. Alabama's offense is coming together. That's what we need to understand. We had a lot of concerns coming into this season due to the lack of quarterback production last season, right? Everybody wants to blame it on Jalen Milroe, but if you look at it across the board, left tackle, right tackle, we had a lot of inconsistency there in dealing with injuries at the beginning of the season, trying to get the players to gel, get some continuity there. But I think we are going to be able to see a veteran group really showcase their experience, and being able to be confident in what the play call is. It changes the whole trajectory of what the offense becomes and what they do. I think we're really set up for some quality stuff there, Jackson. Coming into this year, top 5 offense projections, offensive line, top, a lot of ratings and rankings saying this is the number 1 offense. Does this offensive line produce, and I want to be particular about this, do we see Najee Harris, Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris type of production with our run game, meaning a solid spread, even though Damian Harris was the bell cow, but a solid spread of distribution as far as the type of carries? Do we see that type of offense, chat? Or do we see, we see one guy be this type of runner? Do we see the other guy be the speed back? What do you think, Jackson? What do you think this run game goes with the type of offensive line, the depth of experience we have coming back? Where do you see this run game going?
Oh, I could see them getting like 2,000, 2,500 yards through the whole season. I could see something like that. As
a total throughout the run game. That's a heavy run. So I'm gonna say this: Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, the best offensive statistical numbers that they produced were 2021, their last year at Fresno, and then the last year at Washington with Michael Penix. Now, Penix, we know, was a 4K passer that year. He clipped out right at I believe 3,980 some yards passing attempts wise. That's with 500 pass attempts. But the offense had 600 rushing attempts. So for you to have those type of numbers, if you are able to get to that 600 mark as far as handing the ball off, passing the ball, keeping it right at that 500, 550 clip, they're talking about a total of 1,100 snaps in the season, which is right on time for what this offense has done under these two coaches over their history and tenure together. The numbers could match up with the averages that you saw from Jam Miller, that you saw from Richard Young last year with their limited carries. But then you factor in guys like Daniel Hill, who had limited carries and 6.2 yard per carry average. And that happened in garbage time. But those numbers matter when you talk about getting your third back involved, and he can rip off a 6-yard run on any given carry. And your other two backs are averaging 5.1, 4.6 yards per carry. The run game is going to be based off of the offensive line and their execution. And I think this all how high they're getting off as far as their energy, that clip. Look at the tight stance. Look at how the feet are chopping. Look at the arms firing out, stabbing it to the defenders or the defensive linemen's shoulder pass. Look at the tenacity there. Brock Montgomery getting behind his pass. Like, everybody looks lean. Everybody looks ready to move. This is the type of offensive line you see that's going to be able to produce. Last year, we saw this offensive line come together towards the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season, but didn't see the quarterback play come together behind it. I think this year we are in the best position possible to see everything come together and to start off at a high clip and to finish at a high clip. Jackson, why are you getting so odd? You know what's I think is going to catch everybody off guard. Seeing big number 4, Daniel Hill, in that backfield, he kind of reminds us of what we were seeing from Brian Robinson Jr. The last few years at Bama. His running style though is so different and so versatile. A lot more agility than we want to give him credit for. A lot more agility than what we want to give him credit for. Battle Sports Media checking in the chat, man. Good to see you, brother. He said we'll be strong to start, and hopefully we are consistent strong all year. I think we should be good, Ballard. I think this is a team that's ready. But the experience factor coming back, the veteran presence on the offensive line, that's usually where you see the quality production from your offense kicking off. What you got for me, Jackson?
I'm excited. Like, looking at this film, I'm so excited about the upcoming season. I'm like, there we go. Our running game's just going to tear down the defenses that go against us.
I'm telling you, man, I can't wait to see. A lot of people don't believe we're going to run the ball a lot. I think we are. I think Ryan Grubb understands how to get this passing game going, especially with guys like Ty Simpson being the starter. You want him to be comfortable in that pocket when he's turning his back to it, play action. When he's turning his back to the line of scrimmage, you want him to have that confidence. And how do you establish that confidence? You let the offensive line impose their will. Let them impose their will by getting a push in the run game. I think we're going to see more of the interior run game between the tackles this year. But with the type of offensive lineman, the athleticism, you want them to be in key moments where they get to do that pin and pull type of reach blocking concept where they're crossing and allowing they're allowing guys to flood the wrong gaps. They're baiting guys in the wrong gaps. And how do you get that? You are aggressive to start and you impose at the beginning. You get them leaning and overreaching, overcompensating, trying to send extra guys to the hole that shouldn't be there because you're dominating in the basics on a consistent basis. So Chris Woodham has a question. He said, can we dominate Georgia and Athens with 2 young QBs? I think people are giving Athens and the University of Georgia way too much credit. They have just as many problems and just as many questions as any other team in the SEC, if not more than most. And I don't think Garner Stockton is going to be that guy that can really be a game changer. So they're going to have to find it outside of him. And usually when you playing against experienced defenses, doing it by committee and not having somebody that can really carry your offense usually doesn't work out. Alabama's defense is definitely going to be prepared for what Mike Bobo and that Georgia offense is bringing to the table. And roll tide to you, Chris. Appreciate the question. We had another question in chat. Somebody was asking about the quarterback position. Brian Pearson.
Yep, Brian Pearson. There he is.
Brian Pearson is a foregone thing that Ty Simpson will be the starting quarterback for the University of Alabama when they step out against Florida State. Now, will you see Keelan Russell week 1? I truly believe so. And it won't be because we're beating Florida State 42-3. I think there will be maybe 1 or 2 iterations in the first half where we see Keelan Russell come out and take 3 to 4 snaps, all within the design of how this offense is going to be executed throughout the season. You want to be, this is going to be a foolproof type trial and error type of system coming into the first 3 weeks of the season. Ryan Grubb is not going to take his time, pushing the gas. This team is being prepared for week 1 since the first week of spring practice. Speaking of week 1 against Florida State, expect speed, expect pace with this Alabama Crimson Tide offense. I don't think anybody is really giving this staff and this offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb, the credit that he deserves when it comes to being able to dial up the plays. They've never had this much talent available at their hands. So I look for this offense to be operating at a high clip. Defensively, we haven't talked much defense tonight. Defense has just been dominated fall practice, just like they kind of dominated spring practice. But now you saw today a lot of reports with offensive players making plays. Exciting to see what this defense is going to become as we continue to see that secondary develop. A lot of names in that secondary starting to pop, man. Deshaun Jones, Cam Calhoun, Drake Kirkpatrick Jr., guys that are going to be rotational guys, may not come out their first snap, but going to be playing a lot of impact role and getting a lot of reps. And we're going to see them have opportunities to make plays this coming fall. Glenn Teague, what's up, man? Good to see you. Good to see you and Roll Tide in the chat, man. Dino says Mike Bobo offense gonna be constipated. Ain't going nowhere. Bama jumps out 14-0. I believe it, Dino. That Mike Bobo style offense plays right into the hand of what Kane Womack wants to do, especially if he feels like he has the physicality edge. And I think we're going to disguise the front to look like a true 3 front, but the type of scheme we're going to run, man, you're talking about filling all 5 or 4 gaps each snap. You're sending something. You're not waiting like we used to Saban playing the 2-gap scheme. I mean, really, really interrupting and disrupting the gaps, the lanes of approach. I think that's going to be key into getting Gunner Stockton and being at home field, man. It's going to be a test. It's going to be a test over there in Athens, but I think we're going to be more than prepared. I'm
ready for that night to come already. September 27th, come on in.
100%, man. 100%. Let me see what happened to my.
Oh, nope. Oh, no worries. He's coming back. Don't you worry. You'll see Coach Smoot come back. He'll be back. But I will say, while we wait for Coach Smoot, tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix about the magic that we're all bringing you all right here on Alabama with the Voice of College Football. And don't forget to be telling everybody about the cashiers at Publix about the magic that Coach Smoot is bringing on the Coach Smoot Network. Let me tell you something, folks. You're in for a wild ride. And Thursday night, of course, is the Alabama College Show where Jeffrey and I take your calls on the Crimson Tide, 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for those that live in the Eastern Time. And I can tell you, it's always going to be a fun one. It is always going to be a fun one. But, again, while we wait for Coach Smoot, let's go ahead and tell you about the social media accounts of Alabama with the Voice of College Football. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. Come on. Let's go. Don't keep us waiting. Don't keep us waiting, Internet. Here we go. Come on. Here we go. We're gonna get things rolling. We're getting things rolling. Everybody relax. Don't you worry. There you go. Glenn Tate says he heard today from a little source that Tank may flip in December, commit to the Tide. They may. Oh, wow. That's interesting. That happens. Well, it'll be quite interesting if that does happen. We'll definitely wait and see about that. But here's something you don't have to wait and see on. Let's get it. Let's get it. Come on. I got it. Get him. There we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Glenn T, don't come in here doing that. I told y'all we not talking recruiting tonight, and I told you last week about this Tank situation.
Ooh.
I literally was in Arkansas. I told y'all. I posted the tweet. Let me see if I can go and remind y'all. Y'all don't listen. Y'all keep paying that money for all that other stuff, and I'm telling you this stuff just straight up telling y'all. Just straight up telling y'all what the deal is.
Ooh.
Been telling y'all. There's sometimes you got the status quo, man. You got to do the status quo. Listen. July 30th, I talked about this. Let's share this. I'm gonna share this screen real quick.
All right.
I made this post. And I talked about it. I made this post. This was before he made his commitment to Oregon. I made this post. Look at what I said. This is before Tank committed to Oregon. I said this today, basically at midnight. I was up and I was talking to people that I talked to. And I got a text message. And this is what I posted after I got the text. Don't let tomorrow's decision get you too hyped. The real decision will happen. And then I followed it up the next morning or the next day, maybe an hour before he committed. I'm just saying. That's not nothing new, man. And if you over there tapping in with the Coach Smoot Network, with the Smoot Scoop, you'll definitely be on top of everything when it comes to Alabama recruiting. I keep telling y'all, man, it's a special thing we got going on here at the Alabama Voice of College Football. We have such a connection with this group of players that's coming to the University of Alabama, the staff that's at the University of Alabama. We're in a unique position, and we're going to continue to provide you all with the quality coverage, the on-site coverage, the up-to-date, know before the rest know. You're rocking with us. All right, Jackson. I think that's it for tonight, man. We got them some B-roll. We got some footage. Next week we start our new schedule. We're going to have topics aligned. We're going to be making some promotions about the topics coming up. This Thursday we have the call-in show. We're not sure if we're going to actually launch it this Thursday, but we will make sure we update you all. But Jackson, let everybody know where they can find you, man, going forward, so that we can continue to grow this voice of college football family, brother.
Here we go. Well, they can find me on Jackson Johnson 979 on my personal YouTube channel, where I've got numerous episodes of the Jacksonian, my numerous collaborations with my buddies Will and D, Sports Talk with Austin, and my numerous collaborations with Only Talk Sports, and my latest episode of the Jacksonian with Tiger Paul Craven from Clemson at the Voice of College Football, discussing our takes on the Clemson Tigers. And for more updates on what we've got going on Alabama with the Voice of College Football or the Jacksonian and much more, check us out. Well, check me out on Jatson VOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads at Jatson Johnson 543908, where I also put out my calls on the Feinbaum Show, where the weekends are full of surprises. Coach, what have you got going on this week, good buddy?
Man, listen, man, you all know we're still getting set up here at the main studio, but make sure you go follow me on all platforms at Coach Smook. That's at Coach Smook on all platforms. That's YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. That's where you're going to find the primary content. We got Twitch loading up, getting back on the game content, kick.com. That's KICK.com at Coach Smook. And what else we got? Facebook. We got Facebook. Make sure you go check out the Facebook. We're getting involved in some of the Alabama Facebook communities. Now I've got convinced to do it. So continue to support the Coach Smook Network, the primary channel. Just go over there, subscribe, turn on your notification. That's where you're going to get all your creative, informative content around the things that you hear released here on the Alabama Voice of College Football. And if you have not already, guys, make sure you're subscribed over here. You got your notifications on here at the Alabama Voice of College Football. We will be providing you day-to-day coverage. I will be going live on my channel doing post-practice reactions, but post-practice reports will be done here. We have more footage, new footage that will be uploaded to this channel. Starting tomorrow, we get another day worth of footage, and just come here, react to it. We're going to be posting it as it's released. Official footage from the university, you will get it here at the Voice of College, Alabama Voice of College Football. So with that being said, that's all we got for y'all tonight. Until we see you all next time, we want to leave y'all with a nice roll tide roll. You all have a blessed night, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss another video or another episode whatsoever. And we will see you soon. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Roll Tide.
Leandre Gotta Juice.